Hi, and welcome to the Reiki from the Farm podcast, brought to you by me, Pam Allen-LeBlanc from Hidden Brook Farm. I am a scientist, a businesswoman, and a licensed Reiki master teacher with the International Center for Reiki Training. Each week in this podcast, you'll be entertained as you learn about a wide variety of relevant Reiki topics, helping you become a more knowledgeable and effective Reiki practitioner. We caution you, though, this podcast may also dramatically improve your life, and we are so happy that you're here. On this podcast, I am talking with my student, and fellow licensed Reiki master teacher, Kenloch Cheung, and his husband, Markus Yui. And welcome, guys.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
And currently they're coming to us from Hong Kong, but by the time the podcast airs, they will be coming to us from Australia. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and also about how Reiki can be integrated into your divination process. Kenloch wrote a beautiful article about it, and I just thought we had to have you on the podcast to discuss that a little bit further, Kenloch. So
Yeah, thank you for having me.
it's my pleasure. Just before we begin, I just want to let you know what we have coming up this summer at the farm. In August, the third and fourth weeks of August, we have an at Reiki level 1 and 2 and master class, and those are the whale classes that are taught in Campobello on Campobello Island, the summer home of Eleanor and Franklin Roosevelt. If you think you would like to come and review your classes, it's a wonderful opportunity. We go out whale watching on the Tuesday evening after the level 1 and 2 class and before the master class, and on a sunset cruise, and it's just stunning. And by August, most of the whales are going to be there, so we should have a really, really nice time and a nice trip. But do plan, if you're coming for that class, to stay a little bit longer, because there's an international park, the only international park in the world, on Campobello Island. This is just a little island off the coast of Maine, just a short bridge and a border from Lubec, Maine. And it's just a marvelous class. I've had people drive all the way from Ohio and from Michigan, from Connecticut, you name it, for this class. So, 8 and 12 and 16-hour drives, and made a holiday of it. And it's just so much fun. But it's a lovely time to be on the island. So much wonderful seafood, so much oceans, miles of hiking trails. The following week, we have Animal Reiki level 1 and 2. And again, we'll be going whale watching in between. So please join us in August if that speaks to you. And then in October, we will be having classes both online and in person. And I should say Campobello is both online and in person, and both online and in person here at the farm, just outside of Fredericton, New Brunswick. Again, level 1 and 2 and Animal Reiki level 1 and 2. The master classes are taught through the week in the evening in October, as opposed to through the daytime like the summer classes. And so the master classes will be only online, but the weekend level 1 and 2 classes will be both. So we'd love to have you join us. Kenloch, you've got so much up in the air. Do you have anything planned for this summer, or is that still on hold for right now?
So we will be in Australia by then. And yeah, so it's still a new adventure for us. So we don't really have any idea what's going to happen. But I think I will have more online classes by then, and in Mandarin and in English or in Cantonese. Yeah.
Yes.
So welcome to join us.
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. And you'll be teaching out of Melbourne, is that right, Kenloch? So
Yes.
for people will probably be able to attend in person as well in Melbourne.
Yeah, yeah. That they so I have a small studio in my home, and I think it can include say 4 to 6 people.
Yeah.
So if you are guided to join, I'm welcome. you're
Yeah.
really welcome.
Well, and just a little spoiler alert, down the road, I think in 2026, we are talking about having the three of us, Kenloch, myself, and Ting. So three licensed teachers teaching in Melbourne. And so if that's something that would appeal to you, I know even when we've taught our co-teachers together and there would be two of us, the I don't know, the power of the class was really strong. So I think with three of us, and we all have quite a bit of experience at this point, it's going to be really interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
So I am looking forward to that. It's time to get back to Australia. Guys, before we begin, I'm just going to invite everybody to go ahead and bring your hands together in Gasho with your thumbs at your heart and just activate Reiki. And the process of divination is just so beautiful for bringing us guidance. And yet, in order to truly receive the guidance, it's very important that we be open to receive. And so I invite you to just go ahead and maybe include William Rand's prayer, please guide me and heal me, so I may be of greater service to myself and to others. And then just be open to what you receive, what comes through as we go through the podcast. And Kenloch and Markus will be talking a little bit about how to understand and interpret the messages and how they show up for them. And the messages show up differently for all of us, depending on what our prominent clairs are. So just being open to the fact that it could be thoughts or feelings, it could be pictures, it could be just a knowing. And you can always use some of the tools, pendulums, body dowsing, L rods, cards, in order to obtain more clarity and discernment. But we do invite clarity and discernment to flow through for us today. And you can always verify with dowsing the pendulum, is that true guidance, or is it my own thought? So there's always an opportunity to receive additional discernment. And we just take a moment to give thanks now today that we are of this lineage of light bringers who are creating wellness on the earth. And that begins with each of us creating wellness within ourselves. Aho and namaste. And so, Markus and Kenloch, it's so nice to have you here. Can you guys tell us how you first discovered the benefits of bringing Reiki together with your divination practice? And maybe even to start, let's just explain to people. I think divination is something that is more commonly understood, or a term that's more commonly understood in Asia. Let's just let's just explain what that means, what divination means, and then how you discovered that it could go together with Reiki.
So like divination in China, so we also use tarot card. It's not original from our culture, but this is a very powerful tool.
Hmm.
So we use. So except tarot card, like what you just said, we also use pendulum and also other tools. But the tools that I use the most is tarot card. And what about you?
So I practice astrology, but I choose the Western astrology. So there's like Chinese astrology and then Indian astrology and a lot of astrology. And I think it's different to cards and other tools It'll be like looking at the chart and then like receiving the message from the universe.
Yes. And also when you do astrology, there are like two kind of chart, right? And then so there's like natal chart, which is like reading your personal energies, and then also there's horary chart is for
like events,
yeah.
and not only horary, but you can do different charts for events and then different chart for personal like protection and then natal.
Yeah. So the horary chart is more like divination. So because you're really looking into like a specific events or any question.
Yeah.
Yeah. While the natal chart is more of reading the path, the personal path and the personal energies. Yeah. So when I first discovered like Reiki and tarot, I think it's in my teenage. So so when I was a teenager, and I'm really drawn to all the divination too, because it's something more tangible and it's something that you can get very easily. Like you can get a really cheap tarot card and then you look nice and you still work anyway. So and at that time I also discovered Reiki. I received a healing from a friend, but then I was trying to learn Reiki, but then the class here are kind of expensive to me as a teenager. So I was like doing the tarot card and asking like what can I do to like have the have the money to take the Reiki class. And I somehow the message came to me said, oh, you can do tarot card reading for others. And then you can start like collecting money so that you can take all the spiritual classes that you want. So I started to not only offer tarot card reading session to my friends and family and also to the public. So, but at that time, I think some issue came up. So I think tarot cards, when we do the reading, we often raise up lots of issues. So say the emotional part, or also the practical part of the issue. And then I think I feel a little bit bad just to raise the issue, but not offering solution. So like also trying to include the solution part in the reading. But then I realized that sometimes people, when they came to us, when they're looking for the solution, but then they don't really have the drive or like the solid um, support for them to really implement the solution. So like also it came to me saying, oh, I can do something. Like I can include some healing techniques into my readings so that the session is not only giving a message and also there's like concrete help. So after I learned Reiki, like I started to put Reiki into my session and I absolutely love it because it makes the whole session. It's not just reading. There's healing, there's power behind. Yeah. So what about you?
So I think I started to, how to say, like look into the stars when I was with my family. So they kind of like tell me, oh, that one is Orion, that one is Sirius. And then I think it's so beautiful when I was a child to look in the sky. And then so I think that idea like lay into my mind for a while. And then once I start to work like, career and I start to work in the advertising industry. So I start to have some discomfort, I would say discomfort from work. So I start to look into the prediction, like, the books tells you, oh, this year you're going to have that kind of like destiny. And then I start to have the fear, like, oh, they're going to tell me, oh, that year is not a good year or my money is not good. So I start to have the fear and the negative emotions. But deep down, I don't believe that astrology is only bringing up the like, bad luck or, it's like very determined and it's like fatalism. And so I start to look into different ways to, open up the possibilities of astrology. One is like learning deeper in astrology, and then the other way is to look into other tools to help me to stay neutral.
Okay.
So yeah, I start to get in touch with Reiki, and then this Reiki to me is more like a self-helping tools.
Yes.
So before I start to do astrology, I would do Reiki for myself, and then I would start to have a clear mind and a more intuitive way to study the astrology.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So because when we do Reiki, we have to be neutral, right? Right. So
yeah,
like we have to have the intention that to set our personal energies and ego aside, and also it's for the client's highest good. And
Yeah.
then it's also the same when we are like giving message to the client,
yeah,
like to always think of their highest good and to understand that the session is not manipulated by our own egos, but
yeah,
Right.
the
true.
higher energy. So yeah, I think totally work the Reiki with all the channeling tool.
Yeah,
I think what I notice with almost every modality is that when we include Reiki with it, it elevates
Yeah,
that modality. And so it probably does the same here, I would assume.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I love that. Well, what have you noticed? Like, what are some of the ways Reiki can help your readings become more accurate and more clear? And how do you integrate it? Like, how do you prepare yourself energetically with Reiki before, say, going into a divination session? Because Kenloch, for you, it sounds like you started with divination and then, and that helped you pay for your Reiki courses. Reiki kind of came after. Markus, you started as a very young child with astrology, and it sounds like Reiki came a little bit after. So, how does that work, you guys?
So like when I first took a Reiki class, the teacher started to do a prayer or like meditation right before the class. And then at that, like when we're doing the prayer, I feel like, oh, I'm more grounded and I'm more centered. And then also like when I commute to the class, maybe I pick up some energies from the city.
mm,
And then the energy somehow like gone and I'm like more centered and grounded. And so I was guided to do a little prayer before the reading session. So because sometimes the clients when they really worry about the issue and when they really like care about the question and the answer, so I think they need also a little bit energy of letting go, so that they are open to the message. And also in the prayer, I will also set an intention, like the reading is for the client's highest good and also abundance, love, freedom, or like any energies that they are looking for. So like to initially start the healing for them. Yeah. So that's what I would do.
Okay.
yeah. I think for myself, I will probably do similar things, but I'll say because everyone looking for an answer is bringing with their emotions. Like
Of-
if you have a questions about your life, about whatever you're concerned, and then you must have some kind of like emotion attached to it.
Mhm.
So for myself, I will prepare the space, but the space is not the physical space only, but it will be more like a time space, like that kind of like in the time and then holding up the section. Like it's a space for the section to be smoothly and then it's like more, how to say, communicating in a better way. So I will prepare that for my clients and myself. And then I find it very useful because before I did it, the communication with the client would be like maybe they are very concerned and very attached to the emotion. But
Okay.
after I did the Reiki with the space, and I find the communication will be more smoother. And I would say they kind of like let go more.
Yeah.
Like they will leave their burden behind and then look forward, and then they will be more empowered, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also for reading session, I think in nature,
Mm.
it could be a little bit making people nervous because like you're really expecting to know about your future. And sometimes it could be exciting, but it also can bring some nervous to people. So
Yeah.
I think it's really important to really have some clearing before the session, like to also raise our clarity for ourselves and also the client will be more comfortable, open, listen to your message. Yeah. Yeah.
Kenloch and Markus, I guess both. Do you guys think anybody can do divination, or did you guys do special courses and really study, or are these natural gifts that you have?
So when I first started, I just like bought a tarot card like online. I didn't know it was like even a fake tarot card. Like it's not an authentic one. But that's what I can afford, like as a teenager. But then, and I started to look into the book, like included with the tarot card. And then I think it's about practicing. So I
Right.
started to ask questions on my own, like about myself, and then start to like to have to read. And then I find, oh, it's really accurate. And then
Okay.
confidence suddenly like build up. So like I try to do it to my friends. I'm telling them, oh, I don't know if it's working, but let's try. But
Mhm.
then after I do the reading, oh, they let me know it's accurate. And then so I started to have more and more confidence. So
Okay.
start with experiments and then slowly build your confidence. And then eventually, like now I'm really confident with my reading. So for tarot card, I think like the practice is really important and to really trust yourself. But well, I think at that period of time, like when I'm still offering the session, I figured that I need to take more classes to really raise my qualities of reading.
Yes.
Because it's the tarot card, the learning tarot card, I think there's two parts. So one part is the intuition, the connection, and then how to trust yourself. It's more the inner practice. But then another part is more the intellectual thing. It's about how you can describe the card to the clients in a more comprehensive way, and then
Right.
you have more knowledge base. So eventually, I decided to take more classes,
Yeah.
but I think the classes cannot teach us how to trust ourselves. Like we have to trust ourselves by practicing and by more having more experience.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think astrology is kind of the same, but like, what about you?
So
Yeah.
I
How did
think
you get started, Markus? And is it
Yeah.
something that you feel anyone can do, or is it something you have to have special gift?
I would say astrology is more, how to say, like a calculation, I would say. So
Okay.
for calculation, everyone can do it.
Okay.
It depends on how much you have devote your time to practice. So um so I started with the book telling your fortune, right? And then I start to wonder, because I'm a person that I will always ask questions that why? Because it's not like if it's not understandable, then I cannot take it in.
Yeah.
So always ask why is that happen? So I start to look in each, how to say, like the result that the book tells me, and I start looking back to the chart. So why is that going to calculate in that result? So I start to kind of like self-taught in that
Yes.
way. And then I feel like I'm not very capable to read every single calculations. So I started to go to the school. And so it starts from very beginning, like, all the signs and I have very foundation knowledge, and then develop to a very, complicated and then very symbolic techniques. And then today I'm still learning. And I always find it to be very wonderful to know why is that symbolic to the result with that kind of like constellations. Yeah.
That I know, Kenloch, before you and I began working together with me as your mentor, you had asked me for my date and time of birth so that
Oh
you
yeah. Yeah, I was asking Marcus like if we can get along. Yeah.
Marcus must have told you yes, because we've done really well
Yeah,
together.
definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember like when I asked him, so he said that you have the both sign from my parents. So
Really?
you are, yeah, because you're Cancer, right?
Yes, I
Like,
am.
yeah, and my dad is Cancer. And then
Oh,
there's some Capricorn in your chart as well. And
Mm.
then my mom is a Capricorn. So yeah,
oh, that's funny.
yeah, that makes sense.
And you are about the age of my oldest daughter.
Okay.
And you and my
Yeah.
oldest daughter, I think, are the same age. And
Oh.
and that was I can remember when they chose like us to partner together, that was a consideration because they said, I'm very used to working with people, and my daughter and I work together, so I'm very used to working with people in that age. So so that is funny, but I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Well, guys, one of the things I think Reiki must do for you as you're doing this work is it must help you clear all that mental and your own mental and emotional clutter so you can have better insights. How do you find that?
So I think when we learn Reiki, we have to learn how to put our ego aside. I
Mm.
think that initially helped me to like kind of in that state when I'm doing a reading. But what I discover is that there's sometimes the client's emotional clutter can affect the reading as well.
Right.
Because in tarot card, you have to kind of like pull a card, right? So you're bringing your own energy to pull a card.
Mm.
And so when they're having the strong emotion, or when they are in kind of like a desperate, and then
Yes.
when they kind of still feeling not very good with the issue, it somehow affects the clarity of the clients. So they might not pick the card they're guided to pick. It's
Mm.
more like bringing the fear and all the emotion into the pulling part. So I think the prayer really help because there's already some healing, and then they are also helping them to be more open to the message. And yeah, and I start to find that my client are being more and they're more neutral when they are pulling the card. And then the cards always show the lovely message to them. And then also, I think what Reiki teaches us is that everything has a solution. So when you are
Mm.
in trouble and when you're in some challenges that you're facing, there's always something that you can do to help with the situation. Like we are never hopeless. There is always hope and guidance and help from the universe.
Absolutely.
So I think having that energy in my mind and having that in my energy field, I kind of like affect my clients that, okay, even the card shows a negative message, you always have the power to conquer it. And yeah, I think so like to really help them to learn the lesson in between and instead of just staying in the stage of fear and
Mm.
desperate.
I
So
love
what
that.
about
Yeah, what do you find, Marcus?
So I think it's more on myself, like when I was reading astrology. So I would say because with the Reiki, the reading will be more less intuitive.
Okay.
So you're kind of like running around the chart and then you don't know where to start because there's so much information on the chart.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah,
Crazy.
you kind of like lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so much information.
Yeah, true. And after Reiki, I find it very, very useful that I will catch the key perspective very easily. Like, because I found that the style is kind of like blurring, as I said, blinging, telling me, oh, hi, I'm here, start with me. Yeah.
Right. And so it's just that's neat. I noticed that too, that my intuition got so much stronger with Reiki. And it's
Mm.
almost like words are bolded, if I'm supposed to notice. It's almost like things are bolded or yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
highlight. like you said. So yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. So it's really helpful then.
Yeah, it's like clairvoyance, right? Like we
Yeah,
started to images that the symbol is telling us something, is talking to us.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love that, you guys. Well, and do you do you have any examples of how you noticed that you got clearer guidance through divination with Reiki? Is there anything that comes to mind?
I think tarot card for tarot card because there's so many symbols in one card and one card has multiple meaning. So
Mm.
say the death, the card the
Death
death.
is the card everybody's scared of.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but so death like it shows like a death of a god of death, and then it's showing you the things is going to end. But then there's also a sunrise behind the picture, also showing there's a new start.
Mm.
Something
So
new.
sometimes when we're reading, like we have to decide that which message we are conveying. So because sometimes it can just mean something is going to end, some bad things is going to end, and sometimes you can say, oh, some good things is going to happen like
Right.
that. But then we have to like think about which part is more for the clients, is more accurate for the clients. So like when I'm really including Reiki, like say when I did the prayer and also ask Reiki to be with us during the whole session, just like what Marcus said, I feel like the symbol is glowing. I feel like the symbol is like really talking to me that, oh, it's me, it's me. It's not another one, it's me, it's me.
Yeah.
So, or both they are shining, so I can let them know the both messages. And yeah, so to really make things more comprehensive and more down to earth. Because I think for all the divination too, sometimes the message is really from the symbolic side, which means it's not, it's not concrete. It's not,
Very abstract.
yeah, it's very abstract. Yeah,
Track.
so yeah, so our job as a say fortune teller or as an astrologer is to really make the message to become more down to earth. And then I think like by talking to the symbol, it really helped me to make things more down to earth. Yeah.
I love that. And
Yeah.
how about you, Marcus? Is there anything you can think of, any examples where you noticed Reiki made a big difference?
Yeah, I do have a client that I would say her case is very profound
Mm.
Yeah.
because she met me for the first time is because she is taking my class for astrology, like a very small class. And then I was reading the chart on class. And then I suddenly have the message of telling her, oh, maybe you want to take a body check.
Okay.
Yeah. And then because I don't want to scare her and then say like all the bad things about the child and then just tell her, oh, maybe you want to check out. And then she did. And then she came back to me and say, oh, I got the very early stage cancer. And then yeah. And then she asked me, oh, can you do me a electional chart? So we do electional chart for different things. We do the chart for selecting the best time to do the things. Like that one was she asking me, oh, what time should I take the surgery? Because the doctor let me choose.
No.
So I picked the time for her, and then I think she was going under very like strong emotion. So I start to send her Reiki, and then to tell her, oh, I can see the image of you getting better and then completely fine and being healthy. And then so I think she is completely cured, and then
Yeah.
it's like finish all the surgery and the treatments, and then she is very healthy now.
Yeah. She took my Reiki class as well, and then she recovered real quick,
Yeah.
like really, really quick. So when she first learned level 1, 2, it was in June, and she still have to take the class online at home because she's receiving all the treatment, the chemo, and
Yes.
then she said she's not in a good
Yeah.
stage. So yeah, she started the class at home. And then when she came to my master class at December, wow, she's like fully recovered. She's like
Wow.
really
6 months later.
energetic. She's so energetic.
I think even when she was going under the chemo,
Yeah.
she is like not that bad. It's like 1 day or 2 day.
It
Yeah.
makes a difference,
Very hard.
doesn't it?
Yeah. And also her hair all grow up now. Like,
Right.
her hair is here now. And
Nice.
then she said she didn't expect that her hair to grow so fast.
No, that's fantastic. What a great story. Thank you guys. And it's kind of neat that you could tag team and help her so much. So that's awesome. I'm assuming Reiki helps you maintain clarity and inner peace during significant life changes, but tell me about how you received the message about moving to a new continent, and then how's Reiki been helping you with that?
Hmm. So I think so when we just feel kind of like guided to go there, but we always have a little bit not sure if we should do that.
And
And
people,
then
just people that are listening, Kenloch and Markus are heading to Australia. They're going to be living there permanently, right?
yes.
Okay, so there, go ahead, Kenloch. I'll just leave it with you.
So I think Marcus got his PR at like 2021st, and we are always thinking of the timing that what time should we go there? And then we do some chart reading and also tarot card reading as well. But then I think I think it's a really good lesson because when we look at the card and then look at the chart, we pick some dates, but eventually it's not those dates. It's the dates that we completely feel ready.
Mhm.
So I think although the universe sends you the message that it's the best time, we still have to connect with our intuition, and we also have our free will to decide which timing, right?
That's right.
So yeah, so I think after doing all the healing and all the inside work, all the inner work to help ourselves to get ready, so we decided to move like this year. So which is really exciting. And then I feel Reiki is always there for us. So say I think the biggest challenge, like when we're trying to move to Melbourne, is to find a place to live.
Yes.
Because if you are living in Melbourne, so say if if your audience is living in Melbourne, you know that it's very hard to find a place to live as a new immigrant in Melbourne because it's really competitive. And then so there's a story. So we asked Reiki to help ourselves to look into like different houses. And then so there are a couple houses coming up. So I think before that, when I'm living in Hong Kong, when I'm not using Reiki to kind of help me to look into houses and the place to live, I always go into those places that look nice on the picture, but
Right.
then when I go there, it's very haunted. It's very, very haunted. And then just going in, like, it's making me uncomfortable. But I think after using Reiki, all the leasing came to me. I think if we give it a point, it's at least 70. It's not like 20 and 30, it's at least 70 something. So we are choosing from the good option. But I think that's what Reiki help. And then this story came to us is that so there is a house in a place called Paran in Melbourne. And then when we go there, so we're having really good relationship with the agent, and then we like the house as well. There's like beautiful roses, beautiful white roses in the front yard, and there's some beautiful plant on the deck as well. And then we just feel like, oh, it could be a good option. I think it came to me in my mind that if we are rating it, it's around 75 or like 80. Yeah. So we started to like when we send the application and when we communicate with the agent, we started to send Reiki into the situation.
Like before each conversation.
Like before each conversation. But
Nice.
well, each time our conversation get worse. Our conversation started to have a little bit, I don't know, like suspecting, like I feel like the agent is suspecting us because maybe we said something that is not aligning to his thought.
Expectation.
Yes.
Okay.
So eventually, very dramatically, after we sent Reiki, right away, we received an email telling us that we are rejected. So our application is not approved. And we called and asked the agent if there's anything that we can do. So the agent said, oh, you know what? After looking into all your financial document, I feel like you are maybe in debt or your source of income is not clear. And I was like, how come I don't know that I'm in debt? I don't know what happened, but like eventually he said that. I don't know if he just don't want to like rent it to us, so he made up something. I don't know why. But
Right.
then I think Reiki at that moment is telling me that, oh, because you do so many healing, and then now your soul has elevated, and now you are more open to better option.
Yeah.
So you chose a place with 75, and now you're ready for a place for 100, over 100. So eventually we find a house in Turek, and then the price is more or less similar, and then with a really kind agent and a really keen agent, and the location and the suburb itself is a lot better than
I
before.
remember the agent even asked us, oh, do you want to have a lower price?
Yeah. Because it's kind of like not possible to really negotiate the price in Melbourne, in my understanding.
Yeah.
But then the agent asked if you want to negotiate a little bit, like we can. So if we want to negotiate, she
We
can
can
help.
work on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
so it was
eventually,
just a completely different
yeah,
experience.
yes. And then the agent is really trusting as well. So when she know that Marcus got the global talent visa, so she was like, oh yeah, so she's reliable. So Marcus is reliable. We are reliable. So we didn't really have many conversation. Like after we sent the application for one day, we got approved already. Yeah, so I think Reiki kind of like telling us that you always have a better option. Yeah, and don't just like accept the this worst one. You can always have the better one.
You can always
And then when you
do
do more
better.
healing, you're open to the better option every time.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, if someone's new to divination or to Reiki, what would you suggest to them, for getting started?
So I think like they're like different stages, right? Like different things you can do
For your session.
before the session. So I think the first thing is before the session, that before you have a connection with a client, I think you can always send Reiki to your post. You can always send Reiki to the advertisement. So so you are attracting the high clients for both of your highest good. So you are serving the client's highest good, and you also the clients is always serving your highest good.
I think we encounter some very interesting client. So when they first came to us, it's like very, how to say, like nervous, challenging, and then very questionable about your service and everything.
Yes.
So keep sending the Reiki to them. And then after the section, they became very loyal. Like they trust you very much.
Yes.
And then they came to you every time when they have questions or they have anything in their mind.
Yeah, definitely. So I still remember that student that you're talking about. So she eventually came to my Reiki class and like practically all of the Reiki class.
Wow.
And then yeah, and she said like recently she sent me a message telling me that oh I'm so lucky to have the first session with Marcus. And I think it totally changed the whole path that she planned. Yeah, so I think you always when you send the Reiki to your post, it's the beginning of a lovely story. And the story that you like encounter with your clients could be a way to build your confidence and your faith to your definition too. So that's the first step. It's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say the next thing is to write your own prayer, like to help yourself to do the preparation before the class, before the session, and also before the class. Yeah. So when you write a prayer, you can start to think of what kind of energy that you want your client to have. So say you if you're doing reading about financially or the career path, then you can always ask Reiki to bring success, the energy of abundance and the trust, and then also like to help them to really connect with their spirit. So they are they are more in tune with their life path, like the highest life path and stuff. And then when you like write different kind of prayer, at that time you're also healing yourself because the word that you are going to say out loud is a mantra, is a spell to yourself as well. So yeah, it's a both healing for you and your client, like when you started to have a prayer. Yeah. So during the session, what would you do during the session? Like how do you ask Reiki?
I think I will keep away if I'm neutral. So I keep sending Reiki throughout the whole session, but I'm not like really doing something. But it's like consciously knowing that Reiki is helping me. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I will do is empowering my voice. So like to help my voice is becomes a healing energy. And you're not just conveying messages or like raising up issue. It's more like the healing energies. So that when the clients hear my words, it's also healing frequency for them.
Yeah.
Very much. Yeah. So and also during the session, like we talk about DAOs, right? Like Pam talk about DAOs in her class, like animal communication class.
Yes, and dowsing is a form of divination that I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I asked Reiki to help me to douse as well, like to really help me to choose the best symbol to interpret. Yeah. So it's during the session. So after the session, it's always very helpful to do Kenyoku. Like it's very important.
Yes.
Kenyoku is really important.
And
Kenyoku is
Kenyoku is dry bathing, you guys, where you just swipe, make an X over your body with Reiki and then swipe your arms and release anything you might have picked up.
yeah. So because we include Reiki in the session, sometimes the session got more deep. So our connection with the clients got more deep as well. So it's very important to really do Kenyoku.
Yes.
And then what I discovered from some of my fortune teller fellow is that they sometimes they got a little bit challenged to let go of the client.
Okay.
Like after they do the session, they are still a little bit worried about the client. And it also happened at my early stage of giving session. So I think what Reiki can help is to always write your name, write down the client's name into your crystal grid, into a Reiki grid.
Okay.
Yes. So that at that time, so when you write that down, you can also have the intention to let go of the client. So let the grid do the work. And yes.
Let the grid send them Reiki and then you can detach from the outcome.
Yeah.
I love
So
that.
what I like to describe Reiki is that Reiki is a process of transition your worry into blessing. So like when we are worrying at that time, like say when we do Reiki, so we are shifting our mind from worrying about the client, becoming the blessing the client. So using the energy to send blessing instead.
I love
Yeah.
that. And you know, I don't know about you guys, but I find that every client who comes to me teaches me something. And they teach me something about Reiki, they teach me something about myself. It's fascinating. And so I'm sure you find that too.
Yeah. And then session became more and more lovely.
Yes.
Because I think what so when people what I heard from my student who is also a fortune teller, so she said she picked up lots of negative energies just giving session because I think it's the culture here or it's all around the world. If you are asking something by astrology, by tarot card, you will worry about something. It's very natural. But
Okay.
then, so before Reiki, because my student also care about the client, so it makes her to always pick up all the negative energy. But yeah, and then when you do dry bathing or also the prayer or also just send the Reiki to your post, it comes somehow like elevate the whole situation. So the client that you're attracting, they are open to higher message. And then also there's like the consciousness of the whole session just elevate. You're not picking up the whole energy. And then
Yeah.
it becomes a very, very lovely session. And I always think about that, about the world peace idea.
Hmm.
So let's talk about world peace, right? I think like giving a tarot card reading or say astrology reading is a contribution to world peace as well, because we are helping ourselves and the clients become more peaceful. And when they back to their life, and then they also can bring their peace energy to her life and people around them. So yeah, it's very lovely. Like I would like to say like every time when I do a reading is contribution to the world peace.
No, that's a good point because you're right. Like if you are going for a reading, it's because obviously you're in French, the word for worry is inquiet, in quiet. You're
Oh,
you're you're in quiet and unquiet about something. And so yeah, if you can feel more comfortable, more confident in the outcome, then of course, then you could feel more peaceful. So that's a really good way to look at it, Kenloch. I never thought about it that way.
yeah, yeah.
Well, guys, just to wrap up today, I'm going to lead us in a little meditation. And this is just a meditation for all of us, the listeners and us ourselves, to just use Reiki to help us find clarity and guidance for ourselves and with our own life going forward. So I'm just going to invite everybody to make yourselves comfortable. And you can sit or lie down and just close your eyes, taking a deep breath and just noticing as the breath fills your lungs. And it fills your lungs with Reiki. Just imagining the Reiki symbols and the energy filling the room that you're in, and you can draw any symbols or speak their names or invoke them, however you do. And so on every in-breath, as Reiki fills your breath, I invite you to release on your exhale any worries or tension from your body, your mind, your soul, or your spirit. And just settle into this present moment. And I invite you to let go of anything that's not here right now. And you may notice that you get more and more grounded and centered with each breath, more aligned with Reiki. And just allow yourself to become still as we journey inward today. You can go ahead and place your hands on your heart, feeling the warmth of your hands, the pulse of your energy. And on your next inhale and exhale, just imagine Reiki flowing from your hands and beginning to fill your body with light. And allow this light to grow and to flow through you. And as it does, it brings peace and clarity and balance. And as you continue to breathe, just imagine the Reiki energy is expanding, filling your entire being with its peaceful, calming, healing energy. And just noticing that the light, as it moves through your body, it clears away tension, fear, mental clutter. And that clutter could be in your mind or your heart, or even in your body. Now I invite you to bring your awareness to the space just in front of you. And imagine a beautiful beam of light, of Reiki, shines down from above, and it connects you to your higher self, your inner wisdom, and your deepest intuition. With every breath, just feel that connection growing stronger. And I invite you to open yourself up to receive clear guidance from within, from your higher self now. In this space, there's no barriers, there's only clarity and truth. So just allowing your mind to become still, letting the Reiki energy open your heart now to the messages that are waiting for you. And just trust that any guidance you receive now is for your highest good. So if you have any questions or you're looking for guidance on something, you can go ahead and ask those now, and just notice the Reiki energy flows through you, just amplifying your connection to your inner knowing. And as we breathe, just allow the answers to emerge, whether it's a feeling, a word, or an image. And just understanding that you're fully supported in receiving the clarity and guidance. And I invite you to trust the answers that come to you now. You're open to divine wisdom, and it flows freely to you. So go ahead and ask those questions. And just pause in the stillness to listen for the answers, and we'll remain here together for a few moments today. As you continue to sit in this space of clarity, you might wish to repeat to yourself, I am open to receiving clear and powerful guidance. My intuition is sharp and aligned with my highest good. I trust the wisdom that flows through me. And just feel the truth of these words resonate within you, grounding you in the belief that you're always connected to your intuition and inner wisdom. And we'll just spend a few more moments listening from this highest space, knowing that you can come back here at any time. Whenever it feels right to you, you can just slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. And just invite the Reiki energy to continue flowing through you, filled with peace and healing. And on every inhale, just feel the guidance you received, settling into your heart and mind, and with every exhale, just releasing any additional doubts or lingering questions. You can bring yourself back to the present moment. Just take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just slowly opening your eyes, bringing the beautiful clarity and guidance you received with you into your day. And guys, I want to thank you so much for being here with us today and talking about divination. I find it fascinating. And in fact, after we're done talking, I have a few questions for you and might get you to pull a card.
Sure.
Definitely.
Awesome. And we wish you all the best on your move to Australia. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again from over there. And to everyone listening, just trust your intuition. You've got this. Keep shining your beautiful light in the world. It needs you right now. Thank you. Namaste.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.